This video is meant to guide you through the Notice of Interest process in applying for hazard mitigation funding from Iowa Homeland Security and Emergency Management. If you have a question on another aspect of the application process, please see our website at homelandsecurity.iowa.gov or email us at hsemdmitigation@iowa.gov. The Notice of Interest is the first step in every application for hazard mitigation funding from HSEMD. The NOI includes basic information on who is seeking help for what kind of project. This helps us understand how to help you through the process of applying for funding, or whether you'll need another type of assistance. Once the NOI has been submitted, HSEMD will review for completeness and eligibility, and upon approval, the contacts listed on the NOI will receive an email confirming approval. A project officer will then reach out with the next steps to complete the application. You will also receive notice if more information is needed or if the NOI is deemed ineligible. Note that once the NOI has been approved, an application is automatically created in EM Grants Pro. Assistance for completing an application can be found on our website or from the HSEMD project officer assigned to your project. To create an NOI, the first step is to log in to EM Grants Pro, formerly known as MV3, which can be found at my.iowahomelandsecurity.org. If you have not yet registered for a user account, please see our other instructions that guide you through that process. Once your user account is created, you may also need to request access to the entity's account, if it exists in the system already. Click on Apply Now on the right side of the screen to begin the process, or click Create New Request near the top, then New Notice of Interest. Click the drop-down box for Grant and select 000 NOI Portal, then click the drop-down box for Project Type and select the appropriate project type. Descriptions of those types are provided later in this video. Click Create, and this will create the NOI in our system, but it is not yet submitted. Complete the NOI form that follows after clicking Create, and save the document often as you fill it out. When you're ready to advance, click Save and then Advance, and that sends the NOI to HSEMD for review. The screenshots that follow will guide you through that process. This is the login screen for EM Grants Pro. Enter your username and password and click Login. Or if you've not yet registered, click the gray Register button. From your entity's account page, you can click on Create New Request, then, depending on the options available, either Apply for a Grant or New Notice of Interest. Or you can click on the Apply Now button on the right side of the screen if it's available. The next step is to select the grant. Click on the drop-down, scroll down to HMGP, and select 000 NOI Portal. Other grants may be available, but please choose the NOI Portal. You may select a different grant if you've discussed it with HSEMD, but HSEMD may at any time reassign the project to a different grant when an appropriate opportunity comes available. Next, select the type of project for which you're requesting funding. The drop-down includes several options. Property acquisition includes acquiring, relocating, and/or demolishing hazard-prone properties. General infrastructure includes all infrastructure projects that do not fall under other categories. Drainage infrastructure is for projects that improve stormwater management. The electric utility infrastructure category is for projects protecting or improving electric utilities. The 5% initiative is part of the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, or HMGP. This is for projects for which benefit cost analyses are impossible or difficult to prove cost effective. This is not available for other grant programs. Within the 5% initiative, we put projects under one of three categories. 5% generator for backup generation and associated infrastructure, 5% warning siren for severe weather warning systems, sirens or otherwise, or other for any other projects that are difficult to prove cost effective. The tornado safe room category is for projects to construct tornado or windstorm resistant safe rooms. Planning is the category for developing or updating multi-jurisdictional local hazard mitigation plans, and capability and capacity building, or CNCB, is for all non-planning, non-construction projects intended to improve a community's capability to mitigate hazards. This includes project scoping, also known as advance assistance. Finally, management is the category for costs associated with the management of another project grant. This must be accompanied by another application. A management cost application should have a title that clearly links it to the other project. If you're still not sure what category your project falls under, you can always reach out to us at hscmdmitigation@iowa.gov. When you've selected a grant and a project type, click Create. This will bring up the Notice of Interest form. The first step is to enter the name of the project. The next step is to select the contacts for the Notice of Interest. Scroll through and find the name of the primary contact, and include an alternate contact if that's available. If the contact is not currently a user on EM grants, you can click Other, Create New Contact at the top of the dropdown. The next step is to complete the information on the local hazard mitigation plan. The project must conform with a current FEMA-approved plan to be eligible. You'll be asked to enter the date that FEMA approved the most recent plan, the title of the most recent plan, and describe how the project conforms to that plan, including a reference to where the plan mentions the measure, the action, or the objective with which it conforms, or include reference to a plan amendment adding the action to the plan. Next, you'll describe the basics of the project. Please include the why, the what, the how, the who if known. We're looking for information on existing hazards that make this project necessary, what the project will accomplish, and how the project is expected to reduce the hazard impacts. Then provide an estimate of the project budget. This is merely an estimate, and you're not held to it. Finally, click the Save button in the upper left corner and advance the NOI when you're ready. Note that this is not the final step. This is only the first step in the application process, and you must complete and submit an application that is then approved by FEMA and HSEMD in order to receive the funding. Once the NOI has been approved, an application is automatically created in EM Grants Pro, and you're welcome to begin filling that out. You can see our other instructions on how to complete an application on our website.